Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My fucking episode got fucked up. So, it's been a while. And it's been a while because one, I created an episode and it took me a few days to post, and then I posted it, and then it got hit with against YouTube's community guidelines. So, it allowed me to post it, but it restricted who was able to view it. So I just took it down, and I don't know if I got a strike, but it just said that it's gonna make my my channel only viewable to those that are over 18 and that are specifically signed in to show that they're over 18 or whatever the fuck, right? So anyways, today is July 5th. It just turned midnight. So technically, in my mind, it's still July 4th. So if you see any fireworks going on, it's because it's 4th of July. And specifically for 4th of July, we got a cigar here that I started smoking while I was recording my episode. And then, again, my audio was not picking up because I have this mic that I didn't fucking know how it worked. Well, I did, but it's because I haven't fucked with this mic since I got it, which was like 2 weeks ago. And so, oh shit. Fuck. I hate that I have to take off my OtterBox to be able to record with it. All right. That works. So, what this is it is a Davidoff Winston Churchill, which is a premium cigar. I think it cost me like $32, $34 for a stick, something like that, which to me, my value of money's fucked up. Especially at my age, you make 10 grand a month. You're more worried about the tax, man, than fucking anything. And then you got your bills paid. You pay next month's bills. You still got some fucking money, and you're like, all right, what hobby can I pick up? I picked up this. And the reason I picked it up is because it's actually kind of relaxing. As of right now, I hadn't come up with a video idea until I was making the video. And then I came up with the video idea again while I was making the video, and I ended up going through a few things, but whatever. We got to restart that because, again, no fucking audio. And thankfully, I stopped the recording and I said, let me just make sure that this has audio, and if anything, I could splice them together and whatever. And then, sure as shit, checked it. Tried playing the audio, nothing was happening, so said fuck. Fuck. Fucking wind. Hit me with it right in the fucking eyes. Alright, anyways. Let's try that again for the clip. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. Welcome back to the channel. Play the intro. Alright, awesome. No, actually, I'm going to start playing the intro as the first thing and then have the video. So you just saw a fucking stupid intro break. Anyways, what I started talking about was 4th of July. Like I said, today's 4th of July. Well, now it's the 5th, but it was 4th of July. But want to, like I said, it's cigar night. So again, Davidoff Winston Churchill, and I thought it was kind of ironic that I'm smoking a Winston Churchill cigar. It's called the Late Hour. Considering he was fucking British, and it's 4th of July. So anyways, I thought that was funny. Oh, I forgot. I'm out of frame. Dumb fuck I am. So, what I wanted to talk about was 4th of July. But specifically, significance kind of behind it. Not necessarily a fucking history lesson, because we gained our independence, or we declared our independence from fucking Great Britain. Cool. Now, America, right? July 4th, 1776. 250 years ago. So, the thing that I was going to talk about is the best material for making your point, or for having a conversation and being able to use the best material is being able to have a conversation, being able to make a talking point, but then being able to use actual individuals and real life examples of things that I've lived through versus what I've seen or what I've heard or what I've fucking read or anything like that. And using those examples to be able to drive my point home. So, let's get into it. So, hold up, let me check the time. Fuck me, hold up. Okay, well, I still got 30 fucking minutes. So anyways, what the fuck was I saying? Oh. So right now I work 3 jobs. Monday through Friday, I'm an electrician. I gotta get up at 5 in the morning, get to my work site, which is 40 minutes away in New Braunfels. I live in Chavano Park. It's in New Braunfels, 45 minute drive. So I gotta leave by 5:10, 5:15 to be there by 6. And then I get there at 6. I work from 6 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon. 30-minute lunch break. And then as I leave at 2:30, it takes me about an hour to get home. So, well, about 40 minutes, 50 minutes to get home. I get back at about 3:20. And then I go in at Chick-fil-A in the back of the house, so in the kitchen, from 4:30 until 11:30, or whenever. I'm scheduled till 11. It's probably the earliest I'll get out, but could be there till midnight, which I have been at times, with closing back of house. And then that's Monday through Friday. I have the electrician job. Monday through Saturday I work at Chick-fil-A, and then Saturday at night, I work overnight security. So, for instance, today, I worked 2 to 8 at Chick-fil-A, then left and I went to security, 9 p.m., and I work until 5 in the morning. That's where I'm at now. So, when do I have time to have a life? Is the answer. I'm sorry, is the age-old question. And the answer is Sunday afternoon, right? Or the afternoon that I'm off from Chick-fil-A, because they won't schedule me 6 days in a week. They'll schedule me 5. So this is my first week in the books. Monday was my orientation, and they don't have you work on your orientation day. So I work Tuesday through Saturday. And tomorrow I'm going to meet up with a friend, go play some golf, have a cigar, have a drink. But I was working at Chick-fil-A today, and my manager for the back, he told me something. He was saying something, and I said, what? And he was like, oh, it's just sad what's going on in Venezuela right now. And I was like, what's going on in Venezuela right now? He said, well, they're being hit with a lot of earthquakes. I said, okay. He's saying it's sad because of how many people are dying from them. But that's not the fucking point. The point is that he was sad. His family, I think his family is there. That's where he's from. I think he still has family there, or he just has great pride in where he's from. So I said, okay. And he said that it's just taken such an emotional toll on him that what he'll do is, and this is where the disconnect with me and a lot of people happens. So he said what he'll do is he'll go to work. Let's just say he works from 2 to 11. And then whenever he gets out of work, he'll go home and he cries for 2, 3, 4 hours straight, to the point where his eyes are red, he feels like shit, everything like that, just because he cries because he has such pain in his heart because of what's happening. So I asked him, I said, well, why cry? And he said, because I can't do anything about it, because it's so painful to me, it hurts. And I said, I get that, but why cry? He said, it's just what I do when I feel powerless. Now, this is someone that is fucking like 30 years old. So, it seems he has his life together. I think he has a house. He has a good position at Chick-fil-A. But primarily, what upset me about that was when I said, why cry? I'm thinking, well, crying doesn't do anything, Complaining, crying, doing shit like that, it doesn't do anything. And so I said, well, I understand about feeling sad like that or feeling powerless and everything, but that's why, I took up boxing, or that's why people take up sports or take up whatever the fuck. That way they have a release of all their anger and emotion, or are able to do something productive with it. And so his whole thing was, well, he doesn't do that. He just cries about it. And what is disturbing to me is that is an actual man's philosophy. That as a man, he actually sees that there's nothing wrong with that. That he actually thinks that that's just what I do. That's fine. And that is fine. His fucking life. I didn't know him before this past week. So what he does with his life, and even at that, what he does with his life, it's his fucking business. But with that, it doesn't fucking make sense to me. I don't know if it's because I had bronchitis and I took a break from smoking cigars, but this shit's making me feel like, that, or I haven't really eaten much. Possibly that. This is more of your winding down cigar. So considering I still have 5 hours left, I'm like, maybe it is a winding down cigar. So while being here at Chick-fil-A as well, about 2 days ago, I was talking to someone. And he was saying that it's this fat guy. Don't remember his name. Even if I did, wouldn't say his name. And he was talking about how he had some trouble in the dating world. And I'm like, makes sense. And he's talking about his hobbies and what he does. And he says, well, I hate talking to people because, you know, I'm just so introverted. Okay, makes sense. I understand. I'm the same way. And he said, well, what he does a lot is whenever he goes home, just plays his games. Okay? I'm the same way. But I'm the same way because whenever the fuck I go home and I can play a game to wind down, I'll take that opportunity because I'm already on my feet from 5 in the morning till midnight. So I'm on my feet 19 hours a day, 18 hours a day. My feet are blistered, bruised, feel like shit. All the arch, all the padding, everything's just fucking gone. So it hurts, right? So if I want to lay down, fucking zone the fuck out, especially after learning 2 different jobs, I feel like it makes sense, you know? Because learning 1 job mentally strenuous. Learning 2, I'm kind of learning 2. I'm learning a job I used to do again that I remember so much about, but I'm just relearning it. And then I'm learning a job I don't know shit about, which is the electrician job. So, the fuck? That was a fart. Didn't mean to do that. So anyways, the whole reason in discussing this was that it was upsetting to me because, again, this is a grown-ass person that's saying, I'm struggling at dating, and here's what I do with my time. And it's like, no shit, you struggle with dating. You're overweight. You're funny. He's funny. He's cool. I don't have a problem with him. But you can't really complain when you're not trying. You know? It's like me complaining I don't have any money when I work fucking 6 hours a day at a job that pays fucking $12 an hour or however much he fucking makes. At this job, the Chick-fil-A job, I make $14.50. So let's just say he makes the same, $14.50. Cool. If you don't work 40 hours a week, even if you do work 40 hours a week, after taxes, after everything, how the fuck is that supposed to be comforting? It's not. Which to me is why it's upsetting, because it's like, how do actual fucking adults work full-time at Chick-fil-A? To me, it's crazy. It don't make sense. But the reason being is because I don't know how, if Chick-fil-A is my only job, I don't know how the fuck I would survive. I couldn't survive. So considering, like, I don't know how people aren't wanting more. And the fuck, now my nose is running. Hold up. Shit. I didn't want to smoke in my car, but I gotta do a quick patrol. So, my thing is like, if I'm making $14.50, doesn't matter if I'm working 40 hours a week or not, which these people aren't. How the fuck is this your only job? And how are you satisfied with that being your only job? I don't think it was the same guy, but I heard 2 other people talking about their paychecks. They were at breading, I was at primary. So I was making bread, and they're over at breading. Got a quick break because, line stopped and everything. So while they were waiting, they were talking. And they were saying, "Oh, yeah, my paycheck." So one guy said this. He said, "Yeah, my paycheck looked really good. I got 10 hours of overtime in total over 2 weeks. So that made my paycheck look a lot better." And he was saying, "Well, how much did you get?" And he said, "Well, instead of the usual 900 or 800, I got, I think he said like 1,000 or some shit. Just because now, not only was he working 40 hours, but he even got some overtime." And thinking about that, if I were to make $1,000, how the fuck can I prop my phone up? Hold it. Perfect. If I were to make $1,000 every 2 weeks, I'd be on the fucking street. Well, actually, to be fair, if I were to make $2,000 after taxes, I'd have an apartment and a car. But couldn't afford insurance, couldn't afford credit cards. I'd be able to eat, especially because I have an employee meal, but it'd be eating that if I worked every day, eating Chick-fil-A every day, which I've done. I'd have my apartment and my car, and the money that I would be saving from not eating food every day or picking up food every day, and instead eating my employee meal every day, that would go towards gas. And so overall, this guy still, or these people still go home, only work at Chick-fil-A, and play video games. These guys still go home, just chill the fuck out. And I don't know, I was gonna say I don't know what to do about that, but it's not my fucking job to do anything about it. But 2, I don't fucking know how people do that. Now, if you had a 40-hour work week and a $20 an hour job, I can understand why people are a little bit more lazy. But primarily, if they had a partner. If you're working 40 hours a week at $20 an hour, you're making $800 a week, which is $3,200 a month. At $3,200 a month, you're taking home about $2,400 with no deductions in healthcare, no deductions in anything except taxes. $2,500. So, with that being said, if you lived in an $800 apartment or $1,000 apartment or $1,200 apartment, let's just say $1,200 because that's average, you still have $1,300 left. So your car, insurance, for me, it's $1,000. Insurance is $450. $4. It went up, so now it's $480. Car payment, $600. So $590, so that's $1,170. Almost cost me $1,100. Like $1,100 a month to be able to afford a car and insurance. So, considering that, okay, now you're at $200 remaining. And you're just, for the month, and you're just okay with that. I don't get it. And so in my mind, it's saying you just don't have a drive in you to do anything better, which is depressing as fuck. And so I had this conversation with one of my coworkers as well. She's this Chinese girl, 20 years old. I don't find her attractive because I'm not really into Chinese people, especially when they have their accents. But she's Chinese, but raised in America. So she speaks with a clear English accent. Me, I like that better. But with that being said, she asked me a question. And this was kind of a random, I didn't expect this question. Never really had this question. Don't think I've ever had this question. It was, it got me thinking. She said this. She asked this. She said, I have a question. Why the fuck do I keep yawning? God dang it. She said, I have a question. I said, what's up? She said, well, it's kind of an out there question. I said, okay. She said, well, my question is do you think people are born with value? I said, no, absolutely not. Right? I didn't even fucking hesitate. I said, no, absolutely not. She said, really? And I said, well, I think women are born with value because they're beautiful. All women are really, maybe not all women, but majority of women are beautiful. And if anything, they at least have their ass. Even if they're ugly. But the reason women have value is because men push them to be more valuable than they are. And we know this because it's hard having a conversation with a woman. It's harder having an actual intellectual conversation with a woman than it's fucking easier to talk to a fucking dog insightfully. Because women don't have anything really except their looks. Now, obviously, that's not all women, right? Not all women are fucking stupid and can't carry a conversation and everything like that, but a lot of them are. And so I said, women have value because they're beautiful. They're very beautiful. All women are really beautiful. And she said, well, what about men? And I said, men? No, absolutely not. They don't. They're not born valuable. They have to make their value. She said, well, I don't agree. I said, of course you don't. And she said, well, I just think that all people, because they have breath in their lungs, are valuable. And I said, hon, that's not what makes someone valuable. It's not the fact that you draw breath that makes you valuable. Because that's saying that anyone, no matter what they do or who they are or whatever the fuck, or how bad of a person they are, has value just because they're breathing. It's not how that goes. So, she was saying, well, I think they are because, all human life is sacred. I said, sure, but we'll put it to you like this. The guy who's a deadbeat, who's selfish, doesn't do anything for anyone except himself, he's not valuable. There's nothing great about him that is a redeeming trait. If he's the type of person that he'll leave his job because he just doesn't want to do it, and he has a kid, he has a wife, or he has a girlfriend, or whatever the fuck, and he has a kid or kids, and he's just like, don't want to do this job, and he's not really worried about the work, and he's not really worried about his fucking kids, that's just a piece of shit. That's not someone that has a bunch of value. And I won't accept the argument of all human life is valuable. Sure, life is valuable, but not everyone's fucking valuable. Now, I think that it's hard to determine someone's value before the age of 18. I'm sorry, before the age of 15. The reason being is because at 15, you already pretty much fucking know what you're doing, right? You're in high school when you're 15. So, considering that you're in high school, you know what you're doing. You know what works, what doesn't work. You know how to manipulate certain people. Or you know what you like and you don't like. So with that being said, if you are if you're the type of person where you're selfish, you only do what you want to do, first off, especially as a man, you're not living life right. But then secondarily, what type of fucking person is that? Someone that their money is their money, they don't care to help anyone, they don't care to help their family, they don't care to fucking help their mom, they don't care to help anyone. And they're fine with fucking around, they're fine with fucking people, they're fine with bringing kids into this world, but when the going gets tough, they just give up. That person doesn't deserve to be someone that's deemed worthy of anything. And because of that, how can that person have a bunch of value? Now, they may have value, quote unquote, because again, they're alive and because they may be capable of whatever the fuck. But regardless of capability, quote unquote, just because they have fucking life and air in their lungs, that doesn't mean that this person, they're a great person, or whatever, and that they deserve the same things as everyone. Everyone in America, you're born with your unalienable rights, right? I am fucking exhausted, I'm sorry. I just all of a sudden started getting fucking tired. So, hold up. Just because you have air in your lungs doesn't mean you're a fucking saint. It doesn't mean that you're worthy of shit. It doesn't mean that you deserve anything. It doesn't mean, I don't think a lot of people even deserve to have kids. But how do you fucking mandate that? How do you mandate that someone can't? Welcome to part 2. Anyways, the whole point of the previous episode was being a grown-ass man, and the only thing that you do to solve or try to get over your problems is cry. It's not the way that anyone should live, and it's not the way that anyone should want to live. Obviously, there's things that we can't control. There's problems that happen that we can't control. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all you do is just moan about it. Now, not everything can be solved with money, but a lot of problems can be solved with money. There's no problem that it's like they say in The Wolf of Wall Street. At least when I face my problems, I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 gold fucking watch. Because doesn't mean that the money gets rid of the problems, but at least at that point, having that money definitely helps. If you have fucking $1 billion, you can hire the best lawyers, regardless of your legal problems. If you have $1 billion fucking dollars, you can get your family the best medical treatment, regardless of the problems. Shit like that. So, regardless, if you're going to be someone that attacks their problems. Be someone that thinks about their problems, strategizes, and actually fucking attacks. I've cried over problems. I've definitely done that. But they're problems that I can't do shit about. They're problems that this has happened to me. There's nothing I can do about it. And that's fucking it. And so normally the only reason that I would have cried about it is the fact that it's more of the, why the fuck do I have to continue to go through this bullshit? Yes, it's feeling sorry for yourself, but it doesn't last long, because I've realized that regardless of how much you cry, it doesn't change anything. I got cheated on. Doesn't change anything. So me moaning and weeping and crying about it, it's not gonna fucking, she didn't fuck someone, but it's not gonna change history to where she never kissed a guy, or it's not gonna change history in any realm whatsoever. Having a fucking wish is not going to do a goddamn thing. So with that being said, again, if you're going to be someone that understands where they are on the chessboard, but also isn't afraid to make a move. And if you're going to make a move, don't sit for a fucking year and strategize, quote unquote. The most that you should have to strategize, fucking 2 hours. And that's if you're really trying to think of every single possible scenario. Shouldn't be that long. But the problem is that we get so thrown off. We have such a short attention span that we can strategize for 30 minutes, then go off. Then we'll look at Instagram. Then we'll look at TikTok. Or then we'll fucking watch YouTube. And then we'll try to strategize again. And then we'll try to remember what the fuck we were thinking about. And so if you're going to be someone, you also have to have the ability to be able to control your own mind. Yes, I struggle with the fact that I zone off and think about a bunch of random shit all the fucking time. My mind is always going. And so, and especially when it comes to my problems. I'll think about one problem, then I'll move on to the next one, and then I'm like, okay, well, no, I gotta think about this one, and then I got some bullshit that I'm just get hit with, and then I'm like, all right, let me fix this, and then I'm trying to think about the other problem, and then I'm trying to think about the first problem, and so it's, and then even when I come to a conclusion of, okay, this is what I need to do, or this is what I will do, even then I still struggle with it, because then it's, I question everything I've thought and anything I've done. So, but regardless, doing that is much better than just laying in your bed fucking crying. That doesn't do shit. So, the whole point of 4th of July is you're celebrating your freedom. Celebrate the fact that you can wake up in, yes, the most free country there is, even though it may not feel like it, or even though there's powers behind the scenes that control everything. In comparison to other countries, I'd say we're pretty fucking good. Celebrate the fact that you have free will. Celebrate the fact that you can do something with your life. But don't get lost in the fact that, oh, it's just too fucking hard, or that everything's just so fucking difficult, and why me? Because it doesn't fucking do anything. Let's stop at this pizza place because it's an old one. So anyways, that's the whole point of the episode, is do something with your life. Don't bitch and moan about it. If something happens to you, great. Learn from it, keep going. That's all you can do. You can't give up. And if you're going to give up, then you're just selfish. The reason that I haven't given up, regardless of all the shit that has happened to me, is because I understand that I have a legacy, that I need to have kids, that I need to have those kids be proud of me, have those kids be thankful that they are able to be my kids, be thankful that I have the things that I have, or that I have the mind that I have, and that I can help them as much as possible, that they can always rely on me. And you need to be that way with everyone, regardless of your age. If you're 18, that's it. I'm 19. I've loaned $10,000 to my girlfriend. I've loaned $3,000, $2,000, probably about $2,400, $2,500 to my uncle. I've loaned money to my mom. I've tried to help my sister. I've bought fucking them as much as I can. And so I wouldn't have that ability if I didn't decide that not only was I going to be the most capable individual that I know, but that nothing was going to stop me. And the promise that I made to myself was, I will never be the person that fails me. It'll never be that, I was just too fucking tired. I just didn't want to do it. It's whatever. I'll figure it out. Well, I hated that job, so I just left. I didn't have anything lined up. And even if I get fired, I'm going to figure it out. And I always have. And when you're willing to do anything in search of something, that's when you can not only unlock your full potential, but that's when you become dangerous. So don't put the restrictors up. Don't put the blinders up. Think about, you can go anywhere you want at any fucking time. You can do anything you want at any fucking time, and then try to make that a reality. So if you can customize your own fucking game character, which is life, in the game called life, because you can customize your character, what would you want your character to be? Now, obviously, the one thing you can't fucking control is how fucking tall you are. Or if you're missing a fucking arm, or missing your hand, or fingers, or toes. But now that you're on Earth, everything else you can control. So be someone that takes control of their life. Be someone that celebrates the fact that they have that option to be able to do what they want. Happy 4th.